The United States of America is set to deploy nuclear-armed submarines in the Korean Peninsula, indicating growing geopolitical tensions in East Asia. United States President Joe Biden and South Korean President Yoon Suk-yeol have signed a key agreement called the Washington Declaration to send nuclear-armed U.S. submarines to South Korea. The announcement came during a bilateral summit between Washington and Seoul. The South Korean president has now become the second leader to be hosted by U.S. President Joe Biden in an official visit at the White House. Both presidents also marked the 70th anniversary of their bilateral relations. It will be for the first time since the 1980s the nuclear-armed submarines will be deployed in the Korean Peninsula. While Washington deployed and stationed nuclear weapons in South Korea during the Cold War, they were also withdrawn in 1991, soon after the end of the Cold War. This significant development comes as tensions rise between North and South Korea. North Korea conducted a record number of missile tests last year. Most recently, it successfully tested a solid-fuel intercontinental ballistic missile. While North Korea has defended the test as measures to deter external security threats, they have raised security concerns in the neighboring country of South Korea, which considers these tests as provocative and a threat to its security and defense. This geopolitical development is also significant for another reason. It is being seen as part of the U.S. efforts to reassure its allies as they perceive growing security challenges from their neighbors and geopolitical rivals. The expansion of nuclear capability by North Korea and invasion of Ukraine by Russia have raised fears among Washington's Indo-Pacific allies, like South Korea and Japan, regarding the credibility of U.S. nuclear deterrence to protect allies. In recent years, leaders as well as public from both states have shown a steady inclination to deviate from the traditional policy approach and adopt a more muscular and aggressive policy posture, including alluding to exploring the nuclear option. A 2022 poll conducted by the Chicago Council Global Affairs found that over 70% of South Koreans are in favor of developing indigenous nuclear program. And last November, retired Admiral Kawano Katsutoshi, the longest-serving chief of Japan's self-defense forces, joint staff under the Abe Shinzo administration, raised doubt on the effectiveness of the current U.S. nuclear deterrence. Moreover, Japan has increased its defense budget to 2% of GDP, besides undertaking a massive remilitarization program. These developments portend a further complication of regional and security dynamics in East Asia, which is host to multiple disputes, including the South China Sea and Taiwan Strait. It is also one of the epicenters of US-China geopolitical competition and one of the nuclear fault lines due to North-South military tensions. I'm Usama Nizamani, and this was your Daily Dispatch.